so happy to be here with you this evening to my Sharon's Hall of Records series. This is the kickoff. And a dear friend of mine, of course, I invited to be the first one. We've been doing some things together. And I just want you to maybe put on your calendar. It's going to be the fourth Thursday of every month where I'm going to have a different guest. And the reason that I really wanted to do this, I love collaborating. That's how Christi and I got together. And also it's really, it warms my heart and soul to be in community and have like-minded people come together. And that's the reason that I kicked this off in the new year and calling it my Hall of Records. And so, of course, those of you that know me, I do work in the Akashic field. And so that's like all the records, all that is, everything's connected and everything's in the records. And so that's what I want to create with community. So if ever there's anybody that you want to invite that you think might be interested in coming on and hearing on the fourth Thursday, hearing stories about healers, physical and intuitive healers, and all the different modalities that there are out there. So, of course, we love to do these things with the people that we know, love, and trust. And so that way we can refer each other and we know basically who they are, or somebody knows who they are. And so I just absolutely love that part. So I have been working in the Akashic field for over 22 years. And I have just absolutely loved, first of all, that it absolutely changed my life, and that I'm able to pass that along to other people, not only adults. Now I've been working with a lot of children, and we're going to get more in depth with that, perhaps with Fawn. So my different colleagues and clients are actually bringing their children in to get readings. And this is so important with us going forward in the, as the year goes on with everything that's going on. So I would like to introduce one of my favorite people that I met. I met her in 2020, and we've been in this women's group. And so there's a lot, maybe more of us here that might know about Katerina Rando's group, but that's how I met her in 2020. And we've gotten to know each other better over the time. And we actually did trades with what we do with each other, and loved all of that. And so then we actually have developed an intuitive ×2, where we actually work in tandem on clients, and she'll tell you more about that. But Christi Corradi believes each one of us has a masterpiece within us, a unique creativity that we have been given, and that is both our profound privilege and our greatest responsibility to bring that masterpiece into the world. And don't we all have masterpieces to share? Christi has worked with teens and adults to help them expand their horizons and reach their goals. Among her credentials, she's a life mastery consultant, life coach, and certified registered art therapist. Christi has become a change agent for those who are seeking to transform their lives and to find creative solutions in order to live the life that they love. So whatever you're seeking, Christi can help you find the solutions that you've been searching for. So Christi Corradi, the intuitive wisdom artist, life mastery consultant. I am so happy and grateful to have you here helping me kick off my Sharon's Hall of Records. So,
oh, we're just dancing in this hall. I love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, There's Ellen in person, wrapped up
Yes.
all nice and warm.
Oh,
Yeah,
and when I met Christy, we found out that we actually had the same mentor
yeah.
through Mary Morrissey back in the, when we started with that, and that it just happened that, fate brought us together again. And
And
so now we're in this other group and here we are. So
yeah, we speak the same language. Yes.
probably you might notice that the life that you love living and
Yes.
and all of that and building our vision. And
Yeah.
Christy just
And
hasn't
up
come.
until now, one of our faves from Mary, up until now. Yeah.
Yes,
So,
yes. So, Christy, um, do you remember? Well, I remember one of the first things that I got to know you a little bit better was when you came to my East West book pendulum course that I did,
uh-huh. Yes, yes. I
and
still
I
have my pendulum, and yeah, I cleansed it, and yeah,
did that whole thing.
yeah.
Yeah, I think didn't your mom give you that pendulum or something? Was that?
I had actually given it to my mom, and then when
Oh,
my mom passed, of course, it became mine. And I actually took it with me to Ireland. I also do travel programs with people for spiritual transformation. And I took a group to Scotland, and I took the pendulum with me there. And we had a specialist there that took us to this really sacred place, and we worked with the pendulums there. So that was so
nice.
that crystal has definitely gotten around.
Yeah, and it probably works really well for you when you work it, huh?
When I work it, yeah, it's one of those things that it's like, how many tools do I have? And but
A
yeah,
lot, a
I,
lot.
I love my crystal pendulum. Yeah.
Yes. Christy, tell us, how did you come about doing the drawings for healing? I don't know the backstory.
Okay. So and we had a little discussion, and I said, I can share this with you because it's really a story of transformation. And my program is called Mastering the Art of Life, and one of the key things that I do is I help people who don't know what their masterpiece or their next masterpiece is discover what that is, and or what they came here to do, and then how to bring that into the world. Well, I've been carrying a dirty little secret. I hadn't quite put mine together completely, right? So I could help other people, and just watch things blossom in people's lives. And so I had two paths. As a child, I've always been an artist. Always been an artist. And I paint, I sell some of my paintings. I have always been creative in painting. And then as I got into actually was in high school when I was having my own struggles, I decided that I wanted to help teenagers when they go through this time. And then my trajectory kind of went towards the helping field, and I eventually formed a nonprofit called Nuclear Experiences, which was for teenagers, a nuclear reaction of nuclear thinking. And so I use that whole kind of concept, and I'm a creator and everything, right? So it's always got to have that great bounce to it. And a lot of other, I worked in developed several teen empowerments, including one called Youth Beyond Borders, where I took teens traveling to foreign countries for cultural understanding. And so I really kind of shifted off into the empowerment. And then when my son became 13, I decided that when he came home from school one day and said, Mom, can I have some friends over? I said, Oh, honey, I've been around teenagers all day because I was teaching high school to youth at risk at the time, too. And I just like, Oh, honey, he says, Mom, you give those kids more attention than you give me. And I went, You are right. And I quit my teaching job. I quit. It was midterm was coming up soon, and I quit not mid end of a semester. I quit, and I said, "You're right." And so I switched gears then and started working with adults, so that I could really give him my attention. It worked really well because that's when I was going through the work with Mary Morrissey, and I was having coaching clients and coaching groups, and all that stuff happened in the day, right? And then I could go pick him up from school, take him to his sports to do. He was a drama kid, really, so all those things. And I could even take my own time off to go to field trips. I went up to Ashland, Oregon with his school kids, and I even went to Europe with his school kids, and and so I got to be mom and be coach because I really made the decision that, and family is one of my top priorities. It's one of my top values. And so then after he went after he went out on his own, he went to college, he came back for the COVID. He's actually living here now, but there's another story. That's a cool story. But um and I still struggle back and forth with this. Am I a coach? Am I an artist? And should I just focus? And I see myself getting spread out and not being really good at one thing or the other. And so um, the whole world went into lockdown. Remember that? And the whole world stopped. And I went, I'm the optimist, right? I went, cool. I got like 3 or 4 months that I can do anything I want. 3 or 4 months. Little did we know, right? So I made 3 goals for the next 3 to 4 months, whatever we were going to be in lockdown for, right? And the first number one was to write a book, which I did. It's back there. We may have time to talk about it. It's called Beyond the Box. So I wrote the book. And the second thing was to learn to play the didgeridoo. How many of you know what the didgeridoo is? Yeah. And because on our honeymoon, my husband and I, we've been married 33 years. We picked up 2 didgeridoos on that trip. They've leaned in the corner, and I said, it's time to learn to play the didgeridoo. Now, with the didgeridoo, I learned to do the outward breath. I'm still working on the circular breathing. I think that when I learn the circular breathing, the pandemic will probably be over. Right? And then the third was like to finally get my own masterpiece clear. And, it's so hard our mentor's son, Matt, he says, you can't see the frame if you're in the picture, right? And it's so hard to do our own work so I had a good friend, mentor person do a 3-day ceremony deep dive with me with the full intention of finally, after all these years, figuring out what truly was my masterpiece, my work to bring into the world. And it was very deep and it was very intense. And every day I would come home and I would draw. And now I've been drawing since I was a kid, but I've been drawing for many, many years. When I go into a healing group as a participant or whatever, and a lot of times they're for other people. And so I would show them this image and they would go, oh, I get it, or I don't understand this, or I think this. And I could help them with the images I drew, even though they were there with another practitioner, to move forward. But it never dawned on me until the third day after this ceremony, with me drawing every day my experience and getting insight, even, having the drawings bring everything together from those deep days that I was experiencing, the deep work that I was doing. And on the third day, I was kind of like, duh. Oh, that's my masterpiece. And so that began, and so that was at the beginning of 2019. And since then, I've been doing hundreds and hundreds of intuitive wisdom drawings for people. And what I do is I actually scribble when I'm coaching, beginning a coaching session, like, what's going on, where's your challenge, this or that. And all of a sudden something starts to emerge out of the scribble. And so I bring the scribble over to, and then I show them the picture and I let them decide what they
Christi, can you share the screen? Why don't you show them the one we did?
So this is, and so then that evolved into the collaboration with Sharon, and we decided that we would do some chakra work with people because that was something that kept emerging through my work. I wasn't quite schooled on that, I wasn't an expert, let's say. And Sharon is more of an expert around chakras. And with the Akashic records, she could open up the records. And so how those sessions go, which is really fascinating. We played, like she said, back and forth, and we was like, do we have a connection here? And it was like, yes, most definitely we have a connection here. And so how it works is that I'm drawing while she gets their date and their birthday and the information, their names, and she goes and works on opening their records and finding out where their chakra blocks are. And I'm just scribbling. And this was one of the first ones we did. Now, this curvy line is often something that comes up in my drawings, and it has another purpose at times. But when she started naming, it was one, two, I don't remember if she was just naming those, but I remember she said that chakra 4, and I realized these were the chakras. And that this was, and so this did not look like this when we started. It looked very void and full of holes and things like this. And so that's one of the other things that I found that I do, is that in the drawing process, as we talk about it and reveal, first of all, what the block is, and then second of all, what the healing is for it, then I begin drawing those in, and people have healings from those drawings, from that experience of doing that. And so this is one that we've done together.
Yes, it is. It's so interesting. And we didn't even quite know how it was going to work. But we did one, and then we did another one, and everybody was just over the top about it. So it was like, we're having fun and people are loving it. And so, okay. Oh, you wanted to mention, well, we'll put it in the chat, the next one that we're going to do together in February.
Yep. Let me get that, and I'll put that in the chat. And
yeah, February 16th at 4 p.m. If you can make that, then it will be fun. And if you register, if you're one of the first 3 to register, then we get to work with you.
And so that's how we do that then. And then, we offer a strategy session to see if the 2 of us working with you are a good match. And, we're working with people now and doing some very deep transformative work. So there's the link for that. I can also put the link for my book in there.
Yes, please. And you'll have to show them the book too. It's great. It's a great book.
So oops, not that one. I've been on Zoom all day today. Thank goodness for Zoom, right?
Yes, most of us all day.
This is my book, Beyond the Box, and it's Creative Thinking Expanded. And what it is helps people learn and understand the universal principles that are running us. And it's just like gravity. When you learn to use it, then you can move on to aerodynamics, and then you can fly, and you can do all this. So each chapter, there's 12 chapters, has a universal principle, but it starts with design. I'm an artist, so everything has kind of an art metaphor, right? So it's design, critique, and create. I help you design your masterpiece. I help you critique what's in the way, and I help you create it and bring it into the world. And so each chapter has exercises, it has content, it has stories about transformation in it. So that's that. Yeah.
Yes, I loved my masterpiece that you did for me. I did a series with Christi, and it was really interesting, like nothing that I ever experienced before, and really getting at some deep things. So it's
let me pull yours up, Sharon. And which one was it that you
well, the last one that you did, where it looks like a lighthouse or something.
Oh, there's the fuchsias. That says number 4. Keep talking while I'm looking.
Yes, and so it developed over time. I think, was it 4 sessions, Christi? Is it 4?
I do 4 sessions.
And so we met, and she would ask me questions, and then she would draw, and she would ask me questions, and I would answer the questions, and she would draw, and then we'd have a conversation about it. And so it's really interesting how it's like when the student's ready, the teacher appears, and we never know exactly what that's going to look like. But that's the beauty of it, because it's the infinite intelligence that just takes over. Oh yeah, that's it. I love that.
So this is a little bit different. Look at the chakras showed up in that too, and that was before we started doing the chakra work together, right?
We were
So
meant to do the chakra work. Yeah.
this, yeah, exactly. So this is called a life design. So when people first start with me, I encourage them to do 4 sessions with me, because you really want to have some real impact, right? And the first thing that I do is called a life design. And that's where I ask you, what is your 3 to 5 year vision? And I help draw it out for you, both in questioning as well as in drawing. And sometimes it's metaphoric, and sometimes things emerge in there too that you don't quite see. But the lighthouse was something very specific to Sharon. Can you remember what that was?
Well, I believe and these little diagrams down here with you can kind of picture, that's the collaboration, that's the partnering part, that it looks kind of like maybe like little ghosts or something like that.
This part here or this part down here?
Yeah, the colors and like the little bodies.
These down here.
Yes.
Down at the bottom. Yes, this was the collaboration. And this was Sharon on stage. There's the audiences, right? So that's her speaking. Exactly.
Yeah. And the water. And yes, the lighthouse being like my guiding light.
Mm-hmm.
And
you being a guiding light.
And me being a guiding light.
Yes.
And so in my Sharon's Hall of Records, guiding people to go deeper, into who they truly are, because that's where all the magic is. That's where all the power is. It's just exciting.
Yeah, notice this has a lotus back here in the background.
Yes, the lotus, like my background.
Yeah. So then I do this, and then I do what I call problem solving sessions, where we look at that, or the critique, what's in the way. So this is the vision. What's keeping you from that? If you can hold a vision right now, if you can move to that vibrational frequency, it is now. And so what's in the way of it being now? And that's what the next 3 sessions, or ongoing, depending on how long people choose to work with me. So but that was a beautiful, and the life designs always turn out beautiful. And what I encourage people to do with the life designs is to use, if they do their vision every day, which we were taught to do with our mentor, but they now have a visual feeling tone of what the vision is. And the more you put on the feeling of your vision, the more it must come to you. Our mentor talks about the becoming the low pressure front. So this image for her is the ease of life as she is in her masterpiece. And so when you're the low pressure front, the wind doesn't actually blow, the wind pulls into a low pressure front. And everything that is needed when you become the low pressure front must come to you. This is a law of the weather, right?
Attraction,
but it must come to you if you are that frequency. And so the life design helps you do, if you use it as a daily practice or whatever, it helps you really have things come to you that help you move into that mastery.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I love that. So I think, let's see, there was a you have to tell us about your special gift.
Oh, yes,
to everyone.
Absolutely. So as you can see, I have a playful nature, and so I have created a gift for people called Finger Painting for Manifestation. And what it is it's a video of me sharing with you and guiding you through doing finger painting and how to kind of work with the image to discover your own answers within the image. See, the image is what brings the subconscious to the surface so that we can put words to it or understand it, and then allow the truth, to shine onto it. And so the finger painting with mastery, you get a video and a PDF. The PDF tells you what supplies you need to get started and everything. And then there's a video, kind of me painting along with you. And so let me get the link for that on my busy screen up here.
Yes, and we've got, I want you to look in the chat if you can to make sure that you can see the links. If everybody can see the links, okay, good. Ellen and Fawn, can you see the links in the chat? Okay, good. And Rebecca? Okay, do we just want to make sure, and hopefully, Jean, you can see that too, honey, and
Okay.
Christina? Good.
And Wesley?
Wesley, are you there? He's not talking yet. Okay.
And usually when he's been on before, I believe he's a doctor, and he's usually like closing down his office or something like that.
Well, he might talk. Christi, is there anything else that you want to share? I hope that everybody can make the 16th and see us in action if you would like. I actually have an event. My next event is actually coming up on February the 10th, where I'm going to be doing Q&A for people that have had their Akashic records done by me. And Christi, I don't know, do you have anything to say? Do you remember when I did your records and how that experience was for you?
Well, at times, just like coming into my own masterpiece, I'm a doubter. And what was interesting wasn't so much the facts as what she was saying, as how it resonated with how, not only how I do live my life, but made things clear of why I live my life certain ways, and then also some remedies for what I need to do differently. And when you hear certain things about, when I heard certain things about, things in my past records, it almost like it gave me the confidence to go ahead and show up authentically in life. The whole intuitive piece of this work that I came into at the beginning of the pandemic was the thing I was hiding behind. I wasn't quite ready to show the world that side of me, and yet that was the truth that really needed to emerge, that was my masterpiece. And so when Sharon did the Akashic records for me, and there was pieces in there that said, that led to, this is you in the world, this is the kind of person you are, it helped give me the courage to
to take the
blinders off. Yes. To let myself be seen, right?
Yes, and it just gets better from that point. I believe, for all of us, the luminous light beings, powerful beyond measure that we are. Yeah. And Christi, anything else that you want to mention?
I'm just going to put my link in here that takes you to what I call my quick links. And so if you want to find out more about how to work with me, or just more about my story and things like that, there's all kinds of things. On Friday mornings, I do a 10-10 Christi's Clarity on Facebook Live. So every week I give a clarity tip, and I'm always creating. So the quick links always helps you figure out what I'm up to next.
That's great. Yeah. That's great. Well, I'm going to stop the recording. This is going to be hopefully put up on YouTube so everyone can see how much fun we had and share.